G'day guys, Marky here, and welcome back to another episode of r/relationship advice. I do hope you enjoyed today's episode, and with that said, I want you to sit back, relax, chuck a prawn to the Barbie. Let's get right into it. Cheers. Posted by user Leok808, titled, Am I the asshole here for not wanting to attend my brother's wedding after he made fun of my newborn? So my brother, 32 male, has always been rude to me, 34 male. When I first met my wife, 33, 5 years ago, he started to be rude to her as well and made fun of her because she's not as educated as him. His fiancée came into the scene around a year ago, and she was no different, and made fun of my wife for not being as educated as the both of them. It was a big issue. Lots of fights in my family because of the things they said about my wife, and my parents told us to forgive them. Fine, we did. Last week, my brother was again making fun of me while we were at a friend's place. I let it slide and just laughed it off because I'm just used to it at this point. After a while, I had enough and made a comment about his appearance. He immediately became angry and started making fun of our newborn, 2 months old, in front of everyone, including his fiancée. I lost it. I swore at him and yelled at him. One of our friends told him to apologize, and of course he didn't. His fiancée didn't tell him to apologize or stop. I told our parents that I have no interest in talking to him or his fiancée, and that my wife, our baby, and I are not attending the wedding. Now my parents are telling us to attend, because what will people think if we aren't there, etc., etc. He still hasn't said sorry, and instead is saying that I'm at fault because I made fun of him. So would I be the asshole if we didn't attend the wedding? In the comments, OldWeb8071 says, Who gives a rat's ass what people think if you don't attend? If anyone asks, tell them that you were tired of his and his fiancée's abuse of your family. Yeah, my brother's an asshole who made fun of my newborn child, so I'm not coming to the wedding. End of story. I'd announce this in a group-wide chat, that you are not the least bit interested in supporting someone that bullies a newborn or the people that expect you to grin and bear it. He treated you like crap, he treated your wife like crap, and now he thinks treating your newborn like crap is fair game. The time to let it slide and laugh it off is over. It's past time to make a hard boundary and enforce it. Go no contact with him and your equally disgusting parents who are more concerned with appearances than the fact that their golden child just bullied their newborn grandson. Take your time re-establishing contact once they prove that they have changed their ways. And block anyone who tries to give you shit about this. They are less important than your kid. Maybe him and his fiancée plan to kick puppies on their honeymoon as a nice bonding activity. Not only bullied the newborn, but he and now fiancé have perpetually bullied both the husband and the wife. Why on earth would anyone want to spend time with them, let alone show support for the union of those two jerks? Not the asshole, but when do you finally grow a spine and stop apologizing or letting things go because your parents tell you to? You should honestly be no contact with your brother, and at the very least, low contact with your parents. You obviously aren't the favorite. Your wife should have never had to endure the BS that you've allowed yourself to put up with. Don't make your child another victim. Honestly, the parents are just as bad as the brother and his wife. Why the hell are adults acting like schoolyard bullies? The parents should be ashamed of themselves for being so obvious about who their favorite is. It sure as hell ain't OP. Parents need a timeout, and brother and the wife need to be cut out. That's no way to live your life. OP needs to stop being spineless and protect his wife and child like he should have from the beginning. Yeah, I think that you're not the asshole here for not wanting to attend your brother's wedding, because why would you? It doesn't matter what the cultural excuse is. Your parents are just like, brother can say and do whatever he wants. He can beat you half to death. But if that ruins our family image, you're absolutely not allowed to retaliate and not allowed to not attend the wedding. Okay, you listen to me, you little slave OP. We own you, we control you. It doesn't matter that you're a person that has autonomy. You're just simply not allowed to go embarrassing us, okay? Now do what we tell you. I don't know how you've stuck around so long and haven't gone no contact with these people, OP. It baffles my mind. And now, on to the update. We went over to my parents' house last night. My brother was there as well. My parents start telling me to just move on and just forget about it, that my brother has told them that he is sorry for what he said, and that he says that he made a mistake. I told them, how can I just forget about it? And if he was as remorseful as you guys are saying, then he could have apologized to my family and me. But he's not, and it's been over a week at this point. My brother says that he made fun of my baby because I made fun of him. I tell him, I responded back to you, and even if I made fun of you first, your automatic response is to make fun of the baby and not me? You think that you're justified in making fun of my baby for no reason? He literally says yes, he is justified. My parents didn't tell him to stop. I ask him, so if I made fun of your baby when you have one, would that be alright? Would I be justified? He doesn't answer. I ask him about this 3 more times. He doesn't respond. That let me know that no, if the roles were reversed, I wouldn't be justified. Then my brother says that he will apologize to me if I apologize to him first. My parents tell me to apologize to him. I told them, why would I ever apologize for making fun of him with a comment about him when he was making fun of me for hours? Until I snapped and responded back, and his automatic response was not to make fun of me back, but to insult my newborn. I ask them to explain why they think I need to apologize to him first, when I don't think that I'm in the wrong here. They don't explain, and instead start calling me a bastard, useless, etc. My mum is like, families always fight, and they make up. I say yes, families fight. Siblings have arguments amongst themselves, but they don't stoop so low and start making fun of babies or children for no reason at all. At this point, I'm pissed. I tell them, what kind of grandparents are you, that you are faulting me for sticking up for my baby and not tolerating him making fun of my baby? I tell them, if you think I'm wrong for sticking up for my baby, then why don't you guys call Dad's brother and apologize to him? Side note, a few years ago, we found out that Dad's brother was spreading false rumors about my brother, and my parents haven't talked to him since. I tell them Dad's brother has emailed you, said sorry, that he was wrong, so why don't you guys call him, apologize, and make up? Dad starts calling me an asshole, bastard, all kinds of names. I respond back that I'm just following your train of thought. At this point, I knew this wasn't going to be resolved, so my wife and I left. My brother hasn't apologized, and I will never apologize, and that's where we stand now. I still can't believe that I am being labeled at fault for this mess. How can I be at fault for not tolerating him making fun of my baby? How can I be at fault for not wanting to apologize to him? I don't think I owe him an apology. If he can dish it, then he should be able to take it. He shouldn't have responded with making fun of my baby, and that too in front of multiple people. I never thought that my family would think that it's okay to make fun of a newborn. Edits, wow, just wow. Dad called, and I answered. He asks if I'm going to be at the wedding. I told him no, why would I ever go after everything? He says, so you want everyone to know about this? And I didn't respond. He then says to me, I hope you end up on the streets. I say, how can you say that? And he responds, yeah, I hope you end up in the streets. And I respond, wow, you're really wishing your children end up in the streets? And he says, yes, because you are a bastard. I hung up. This is just too much for me. I have no interest in talking to any of them. In the comments, Not Dealing Today says, the worst part is, your brother isn't the biggest issue in the situation. Your parents are enabling him to be an asshole, and when they hear the true story, ask you to apologize first. You stood your ground and didn't give them what they wanted. This will go one of 2 ways. Either they'll respect you more and won't treat you as a pushover, or they won't talk to you. Either way, I think you come out ahead. You don't want that type of toxicity around your newborn. And side notes, nice work, Dad, sticking up for your child like that while staying calm. If anyone in my family made fun of one of my children, even at their ages now, I'd throw hands. I'm surprised that OP turned out decent in spite of his shit family. Seems like the brother followed in the parents' footsteps of being a huge see you in the Northern Territory. Probably because they focused it all on OP's brother and neglected OP if this interaction is anything to go by. Yeah, this reads like golden child throws tantrum. Mama's boy had his feelings hurt. OP better apologize. For one, normal people don't feel the need to be better than someone else. He clearly didn't learn anything in college if this is what he thinks and this is how he acts. Do yourself a favor and go no contact already, because this shit is inevitable at this point. They are going to give empty promises and always team up against you. OP has been living the life of a doormat for so long, he forgot what it was like to not constantly have boots on his neck. I'm glad he finally realized that he's a human being and afforded the basic respect and decency afforded to one. Send in a group chat that you have no intention to attend his wedding, and you're confused why your brother and fiancé would want insert insults that he's made about you, insert insults he's made about your wife, and especially my insert insults that he made about your child at his blessed event. We've made alternative plans that we don't intend to change, so the subject can be dropped if anyone on this chat wants to continue to be involved with insert insults about baby, quote-unquote child, again, and mean it. Excessive use of the word bastard makes me think that OP is on the bad end of a dark family secret that explains the different treatment between him and his brother. That really jumped out at me. The whole point of bastard as an insult is that one's mother was promiscuous and or unfaithful. It's an insult to the father as much as the son, so why is dad using that slur? Very interesting one to read between those lines there. I would love to know the lore and the backstory of that family and what's going on. Why are they attacking OP so much? And if that is the case, why is OP not putting two and two together in this situation and kind of pointing that out to them and being like, what's going on? Why do you keep using that specific word? Is there something that you're not telling me? Either way, it doesn't seem as though this situation has resolved all that well, and I wish you all the best going forward in the future, OP. If you want to keep talking to these basket of asshole shit people, you're more than welcome to, but I personally would run. I'd cut my losses and get away from them. Our next post is by user Hel Krasinski, titled, "My childhood bully has become my coworker, and she's bullying me again." When I, 18 female, was in the 5th grade, age 10 to 11 for any non-Americans, there were these new twins who moved from the other side of the country to join my class. For some reason, these two kids did everything they could to make my life miserable. I think it's because I was socially unaware and a bit odd as a child, but I'm not sure. The boy twin was this very big kid who would regularly beat me up, and the girl twin would humiliate and spread rumors about me. Of course, the teachers never did anything about it, though. Luckily, these two went to different middle and high schools, so I wasn't bullied and I had a pleasant time in school after that. Most kids were not happy about going to middle school, but I was excited for them to stop torturing me. However, last month, I got a job at a new grocery store in my neighborhood. But last week, the girl who bullied me got a job at the same store. At first I thought, it's been 7 years. She probably changed. But just now, a few co-workers asked me, "Did you really have sex with the manager so that you could get hired here?" And I shouted at them, "No," and asked them where they heard that, and they said that the new girl told us. I don't want to go through this again. I'm genuinely considering switching jobs to get away from her. I feel so lost and helpless. In the comments, Throwaway 070879 says, HR is your friend in these situations. She's making it a hostile work environment. Get a notepad and write down every incident with the date and time and what the incident was. Keep a record of it. If you work at a small store with no HR, then go to management, but skip management if you have an HR and go to HR first. I'm almost positive that your manager doesn't want the reputation of being a sleaze and making 18-year-olds sleep with him to get hired, if he's a decent person at least. OP replies, the store doesn't have an HR, but I'll talk to my manager when I see him. Good. Remember, this isn't like school. The school has a responsibility to all students, even asshole students, and the school can't fire a middle schooler from school. Her employer, though, that's a lot different. P.S. If you're worried that they'll fire you for being a pain, don't be. You'd qualify for unemployment in pretty much any state, and any decent employment lawyer would take your case in a heartbeat. Ideally, you don't want it to go this far, though. Make sure to summarize your concerns in an email formally after, and make sure to make copies of the boss responses. Also, do not feel like you were wrong or crazy. Lastly, this is not your career or endgame. Treat it like the bill-paying good enough for now job that it is. Federal law prohibits workplace harassment. Your employer is legally obligated to investigate this. Edit to add, if your workplace doesn't have posters displayed in a prominent area, i.e., break room, etc., detailing your rights as a worker and how to address violations, your employer is already in violation of federal law and needs to be reported. Yeah, just talk to your manager and tell him what she's doing. He probably won't appreciate that rumor being spread as it involves him. She's also creating a hostile work environment. You may want to divulge that she was a school bully, so this establishes that she has a pattern. If she moves on from bullying you, it is likely that she'll bully someone else due to said previous behavior. I hate bullies. I'm sorry that you went through that. I did too. I have many issues because of it. And now, onto the update, titled, I stood up to my childhood bully as an adult. So the last few days have been pretty chaotic. First of all, I found out the new girl at my workplace, who was my childhood bully, was spreading another rumor, claiming that my boobs were fake. I took the advice of most of the people in the comments of my post and sent an email to my manager telling him about how she made up a rumor claiming that I slept with him to get hired. He responded saying that this is a very serious issue and that he wants me to come into work tomorrow to get my side of the story, because my bully had a shift then. The manager came in looking absolutely furious. My manager spoke with her, me, and a few of my other co-workers to see what was going on. After my manager spoke with my bully, I saw her leaving. She came up to me and said, "Screw you, you tattletale sla-la-la-la-la," and left. I asked my manager what happened with her at the end of my shift, and he said, I spoke with her about the bullshit that she was spewing. She tried acting innocent, but everyone I asked said that she was the one who made that shit up. She's fired, we don't have to worry about her anymore. I was kinda hoping that she would throw a temper tantrum, but that didn't happen. I finally stood up to her, thanks to the advice and words of support from Reddit. I'm pretty sure my past self, the little girl who had her backpack stuffed in a shit-filled toilet on her 11th birthday, would be so proud of me. In the comments, Little Yesterday 548 says, "Some people really never move past high school." And OP replies, "Even worse, in her case, she bullied me when we were in the 5th grade." Sad that some people are like that. Oh well, not your problem anymore. I cannot imagine calling another fully grown adult a tattletale and not feeling like a joke. My thoughts exactly, I would have laughed her ass out of the office after using such a juvenile term. I don't care how bad your life ends up, don't make it other people's problems like OP's bully tried to. No shit he was furious. That's a rumor that could get him booted and blacklisted. Not to mention the fake boobs rumor is just straight up sexual harassment of a coworker, regardless of if it was true or not. How childish of that girl to hold on to that hate for OP for that long and screw up her employment because she couldn't let it go. There's a girl at my school that bullied me in elementary and middle and started screwing with me again in high school. The funny thing is, I did nothing to this girl. She just hates me for no discernible reason. Some people are just messed up. I went to a UK boarding school. The bullies of this girl, who they severely ostracized and bullied for years, were chatting one night about new ways of bullying and new lies to tell people about her, went off on a tangent, and asked each other, "Why do we hate her again?" And they shrugged at each other, and then one of them said, "Well, I'll just tell people that she stole my boyfriend." So yeah, sometimes bullies don't have reasons to bully. Quotes, "Just now a few co-workers asked me, did you really have sex with the manager so that you could get hired here?" I know it's not the point, but I can't just imagine outright asking a coworker whether or not they screwed someone for a job. Just remember, the people involved are around 18 years old. That's an important aspect to keep in mind. And for any 18-year-olds who read this and would never do such a thing, I believe you, but you know that you know people around your age range who absolutely would do such a thing. Psh, I know people in their 40s who would absolutely do such a thing. For real, I'm in my early 20s and I can't stand the gossiping, but at an old job I worked, there were like 3 to 4 mid-40s employees, and you couldn't tell that shit apart from a middle school. Anyway, guys, that's where I'm going to end today's episode. I do hope you enjoyed. If you did, let me know what you thought about it in the comments down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!